Okay, friends, I have got another amazing husband and wife duo for you today. Jarrod and Anita, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you.
You.
We are
Pleasure to
so
be here.
excited to be here. Thank you for inviting us.
Oh, you're so welcome. I'm really excited to hear your story and all of the amazing wisdom that you have to share with us today. And I really love to hear people's stories because I think that gives so much insight into just their journey. And, people can really relate to those in a powerful way. So I was wondering if you guys could just start off by sharing a little bit about who you are and your background.
Well, my name is Jarrod Rousseau. I'm a physician assistant, have been a PA for 23 years now, and now specialize in lifestyle medicine and see patients on the side, but then also we teach people how to improve their health by helping to improve what they eat.
Yes. And I'm Anita Roussel, and I am a nurse and certified integrative nutrition health coach. And we're just passionate about eating more whole plant foods. That's our thing because we've seen time and time again how it can help people heal naturally. But the biggest thing for us is not the whole plant foods. It's the kind of life that eating these foods gives. It's being able to not just live a long life, but put a lot of life in your years. Like, we don't want to just live long. We want to be really healthy. We don't want our children and our grandchildren having to take care of us when we're older. We want to maintain our independence. We want to be able to not just, if God's put something on our heart, like grow a business, not just kind of grow it, but really reach the people that he's put there for us to reach. And so that's our mission, is just to help people to feel good so you can finally stop being held back from with your health struggles and start fully living your God-given dreams.
Not just live, but live well.
Live well.
Yes. I love that so much. And I'm so excited to hear more. And can you guys just go into a little bit about what started this journey for you and what did life look like before you started making some of these health changes? Anita, I guess we can start with you and just tell us a little bit about what this journey's looked like for you.
Girl, this life was hard before we started making some of these health changes. It was really hard. And some people don't reach that place, and that's okay. What I want you to take from my story is that you don't have to reach this place. We just didn't know what we didn't know, but now we do. And so we love sharing these things because when you know better, you can do better. So when I reached 40, I hit a wall with my health. And I never thought about 40 as this age where all these things come crashing down, but we hear this stuff and we're kind of pre-programmed for it. But I didn't live in fear of those kind of things. It's just happened to me. When I hit 40, I hit this wall. So I was already having hot flashes. I was constantly exhausted, and it just kept getting progressively worse and worse. So I had joint pain. We started getting diagnoses given to me that were chronic. Like, I had a chronic bladder diagnosis. Just all these crazy things were going on. And it reached a point where one day I looked at him and I said, look, I don't know how much longer I can go like
She
this.
said, I feel like I'm dying. I would have you take me to the ER if I thought they would actually give us an answer, if we felt like it would actually take us in a certain direction.
And we're medical professionals and we're plugged into the system. And I was going for appointments and I wasn't getting answers.
Blood test and just no real answers.
Yeah. And that was so frustrating. It was overwhelming. I mean, I remember standing in my shower, washing my hair, and just thinking to myself, other people are washing their hair right now and they're not even thinking about it. They're just doing it. And like, it was so awful.
Well, and the issue with that was frozen shoulder. I mean, she couldn't lift her arm more than about 45 degrees to reach her hair.
But the joint pain, even in my fingers, I mean, just to press to wash my hair, it was ridiculous. It was absolutely ridiculous. And there were no answers coming my way. So we were praying, we were seeking God, trying to figure out what can we do. And the most heartbreaking part for me was that we were getting ready to adopt our fourth child. 2 of our children are adopted. We have 4 children.
Yeah.
But
number 3 and number 4 adopted.
One is from Taiwan, and we were getting ready to go to China to pick up our daughter, Kate. And so we had waited for over a year to pick her up, and I kept progressively getting worse. And I got to a point where I remember I was in choir, and I remember going up to some of my friends at our church and going, I need prayer. Like, I don't know what I'm going to do. I am going to get over there and not be able to pick up my child. Like, it was heartbreaking as a mother. It was so heartbreaking. And I remember thinking, we've got to do something. We've got to figure out what's going on here.
Something's got to be amiss here. You don't just have the pain and the frozen shoulder and all the joint pain for no reason.
It's not normal. So anyway, it ended up that Jarrod went to the mailbox one day, and he loves research. So he's a physician assistant, but he also has a degree in cellular and molecular biology.
And I did research before going into PA.
He worked in the research department at Medical University of South Carolina for years.
Wow.
So I kind of dabbled in that world a little bit.
He loves it. Like, he didn't dabble, he loves it. Okay. So we got this journal in the mail, and he was reading it. And I remember he said to me, Anita, there's something here that I think might help you. Could be worth a try. And so the article,
it was specifically about omega-3s and omega-6 fats, and the ratios and the sources of them, and how having too many omega-6s could cause inflammation. So I think this was one of the first things that we saw that really looked like there was a connection there. It's like, oh,
could it possibly be this simple? So we start just switching up the oils, right? We looked at the oils that were the better oils, and we started removing some of the ones that were not good for us.
Well, a great example is grapeseed oil. We had found it at Costco. It was organic. It was inexpensive, high smoke point.
We had heard online, it's healthy.
So we were using that almost exclusively. But as I was reading through the journal, it was one of the worst as far as 20-to-1 omega-6 to omega-3s. And I'm just shocked. It's like, oh my goodness. And so we said, well, let's change up what we're doing. Less of that, maybe more like walnut oil, very high in omega-3s, and started noticing a little difference. I mean, it wasn't completely better, but there was that glimmer of hope, that light at the end of the tunnel, that there's something here, finally.
When you start getting relief, you're going, could it really be this simple? Like, could there be some simple answers that if we just stack one on top of the other? We're big stackers. We love to stack things for health. And when you learn like this thing and that thing and this thing, it's not hard. It's just like you start with this one thing, and then you're doing this other thing, and these become your daily routines and habits. All of a sudden, you're getting out the junk that was keeping you stuck. And now you're getting in. I call it the 1-2 punch. So it's like out with the old, in with the new. That's not just true about food. That's like every area of our life. Like out with the old, in with the new. You don't ever leave that empty hole. It's not a good thing to do. So that's our big thing. So anyway, that was a huge turning point for us. And then we had other things happen, like God brought this woman into our life who was eating whole food, plant-based. She became a dear friend of ours, and we started getting together for meals and stuff. And so over time we started changing things, and all of a sudden I'm getting this massive relief. Like, what is going on here? And she had reversed cancer and was in complete remission. Like, it was gone. So it was just amazing, like all these different steps that happened and how we realized it. And so for a while, like we were talking about, we were doing one thing and then another thing and another thing. And if we had known what we know now, we would have
jumped in
all in
completely,
100%.
immediately.
We would have.
But just discovered little by little as we were searching.
That's just our story. It's just how we learned it. And so we did what we knew until we knew the next thing to do. And then we did the next thing. But we didn't have anybody to give us a framework or a blueprint or something that was going to actually help us know exactly what to do. So as we've developed things over time, we've developed it based on what we know worked for us, but not just that, like what works for all our clients and what we see work time and time again. And more than that, what's proven in research. But Jarrod and I always say, when you can take things that are backed by reliable research, not research, reliable research. Yes. And you have someone who knows how to read a study and look at it and tell you, is it reliable? What was who was in it? Who backed the study? Right. Who backed the study?
If the tobacco company funds a research study that says smoking is not harmful, you got to have some questions there. You just do. Exactly.
Right. But coming from where we come from, this is our big thing. If you have the scientifically backed research, and you can take the word of God, because we're believers, we follow the word of God. You have those two things. When you can find the place that those align, you're gold. That's your gold. And so Genesis 1:29 talks about what we're originally created to thrive on: whole plant foods. Okay, it's very clear. Like that's what we're originally created. So when you can talk to the maker of a product and find out specifically how it's designed to best be used, it is amazing what can happen. But when you take the place where now it's like, well, I need the proof. Well, you've got the reliable research, and over again, it backs up. We are trained to believe that these certain conditions are chronic. Oh my word. And like, you see people in your life going through this stuff. And I was going through all these things that we were dealing with in our own lives. And you're trained to believe they're chronic, but it's like, the things we see reverse all the time. I mean, I had fibrocystic breast disease, and I was told it's just kind of a normal variant.
It's
Well,
just a benign condition.
don't worry about it. It's not cancer. Look, when your body is walling something off, it's a sign. Red flag, red flag. There's something going on here. So it's gone. Like it's gone. Okay. So
Bladder thing she had, I don't know if you mentioned it, interstitial cystitis. And there were medications like some
steroids and stuff
steroids, some different medications that are
for life. It's gone.
Yeah.
Like it
Wow.
happens all the time. So our clients, things we see reverse with them all the time: type 2 diabetes, autoimmune diseases, multiple
Blood
clients, rheumatoid arthritis, IBS, Crohn's. I'm trying to think
severe
what
headaches, neck pain. I mean, these are all people we've worked with directly that have had these specific things go away.
Nexium,
Reflux.
15 years for reflux, off of it,
Wow.
no problems at all. Like high blood pressure, high cholesterol down to normal. You work with your physician. Please hear me. If you're on a medication, do not take yourself off the medication and start eating whole plant foods. Like that doesn't even make sense. But you can improve so fast on these. I'm talking so fast that, especially with blood pressure and things like that, because it changes even your blood viscosity, that you need to be monitored by a doctor if you're on medication, a personal provider that can see you in person and help you adjust them. But find one who's willing to work with you to help you adjust them, not just, well, you're going to be on this forever because you have high blood pressure. No. We constantly see
and they say that because that's all they know. That's all they were taught. I went through this 25 years ago.
Right.
And there were certain things I was taught is to, nope, this is just chronic.
And I don't think they always had bad intentions. Do you,
I think
Heather?
most
Like,
of them
for
don't.
us, we didn't have bad intentions.
No, it's just what you're taught. And if you don't know any better, then you're just going to keep, proliferating the information until something comes to challenge it.
You're trusting the instructors, the experts. This is the body of knowledge, and you've come here to learn that body of knowledge. So this must be what is true.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it is true, but it's not the whole truth.
Yes.
I mean, you can have high blood pressure, all these things, and these medications can help, but most of them don't get to the root issue.
Yeah.
So you're leaving that whole aspect of it, you're ignoring it.
And we look at each other and talk all the time about how, can you believe we had such a heart to help people? Like from the time I was young, I wanted to be a nurse. I wanted to help people get better. I mean, I had pictures of me that I have drawn, like wanting to be a nurse. And
a little picture of herself giving someone a shot in the booty.
like, it's hilarious. I still have it. Like I wanted to be a nurse, but I wanted to help people. But that even goes to show how we're trained. Like it's the medicines that are going to.
Well, that's true. I never thought about
I didn't
that.
either.
It was a
I
shock.
just had that realization. Yeah. So, but you think about like how we spent our years of our lives helping people manage their diseases. Now we spend every day helping them prevent and even reverse them on the regular. Why is nobody talking about this?
Yeah.
That's my question. Why is nobody talking about it? So we're talking about it.
Yes.
That's right.
And I love sharing this with my patients. And I tell them, if I do my job right, 80% of my patients won't need me anymore.
Yes.
We know that 80% of what we see in healthcare is lifestyle choice related, which is why I love lifestyle medicine so much. But if we optimize our lifestyle choices, which will optimize our health outcomes, 80% of my patients wouldn't need me anymore. And I tell my patients right after I say that, it's like, I love that. If I can do my job well, so you don't need me anymore, then I've done what I've been called to do.
And the sad thing to me is that a lot of doctors know the information, but they don't share it because they don't feel like their patients will do it.
Well, that is true too.
Yes. They don't feel like their patients will do it. And I feel like they do see that over and over again, but I don't think it's because people don't want to as a whole. Some people don't want to. They're fine with it. And if you're okay with where you are, then by all means stay where you are. But like some of us, we have dreams on our heart and we want to live a certain way and we want our life to look a certain way when we reach a certain age, and we want to reach that age, but we want to thrive when we get there. But I don't think a lot of times it's just that you don't want to know. It's that you don't know what to do. So a doctor comes in and they're like, what's your favorite food? Literally, we had clients,
somebody that
two
underwent this.
two. And I'm sure it happens more than this, but they come in and they say, what's your favorite food? And you tell them, they're like, you can't have that anymore. What? One of them literally said pasta, and the doctor goes, you can't have that anymore. Okay, please tell me how that's going to work for you. If the doctor walks in and says, you cannot have that anymore, you need to stop eating that, and they walk out, You have no plan, you have no blueprint, and now what am I supposed to eat? So am I going to eat salads? Am I supposed to eat rabbit food for the rest of my life? Is that what you want me to do? That's insane. How's that ever going to work for anybody?
That's crazy. Yeah.
I don't know how that's going to work for anybody. So that's the thing we
I'm-
find, that a lot of people, and we know that we know what we're supposed to eat to our core. We know we need more whole fruits and vegetables. Everybody knows that pretty much on any type of diet that's the healthier form of that diet. It's you need to get more whole plant foods. We call them the 5 power foods. So it's fruits, vegetables, whole grains, nuts, seeds, and legumes. Start filling your plate, your life with those. Well, that's great, Anita. But how do I do that? That's the thing. And so you need a framework to be able
And
to
we have
know,
found that
like, how
that
do you
is
do
really the disconnect, because there are some people that recognize that the whole food plant-based way of living would help them. They just don't know how to do it in a way that's sustainable, because what they've experienced their entire lives is more the standard American diet, animal product heavy. They don't know how to make that transition, and they think dry salads. Well, you would never boil a chicken breast, put no seasoning, nothing on it, and just eat that every meal.
Right.
You would get tired of that very quickly.
If you're like me, who was the Dairy Queen, I was literally coined the Dairy Queen. We ate so
You
much
coined yourself
dairy.
the Dairy Queen.
I did. I think I did, because of this story. He has to tell you what happened. So he went to the grocery store.
Early on, going through the grocery store, going through the checkout line, I think the cashier had mentioned something like, wow, a lot of dairy there. Like, yeah, we should just buy a cow. It'd be a whole lot cheaper. We'd save some money.
Said that. We
For
should
real.
just buy a cow.
But we thought dairy's good for protein, good for calcium. So help
Yeah.
strong bones. So
But I was addicted to it. Sour cream, yogurt, mayonnaise, cheese, all of it, milk, you name it, because I like creamy, cheesy things. So if you come into a girl who likes creamy, cheesy things and you say, stop eating creamy, cheesy things, I'm going to be like, you are crazy. Or I'm going to force myself to do that until I achieve a result, and then I'm not going to be able to stick with it. There's no way,
Yeah.
because I like creamy, cheesy things. So if you like pizza and tacos and brownies, if you like brownies, don't say, I can't have it. You need to say to yourself, how can I?
yes.
It's not that you can never have them. And we don't need to eat those as our foundational foods. We don't need to have brownies as the main dish on our plate every night. That's it. Like, that doesn't even make sense. But we need to know that we can have them when we want them, in a way that actually will promote health in our body and not mess us
It
up.
still tastes amazing.
And it still tastes, and that's huge to me. And Jarrod, it's got to taste good, but I think I'm more picky about the taste.
She is more picky, but
I'm
that's
really
okay.
picky.
I'm the beneficiary of her pickiness, because I eat great tasting food all the time.
I love it.
Yeah, I was like, I have to write recipes, but this is about so much more than recipes. So we have cookbooks and recipes, because I'm like, it's got to taste good. That's like a no-brainer. It seals the deal for me. Like, if it doesn't taste
Oh,
good,
yeah.
forget about it. So we have these foods we like, lasagna and shepherd's pie, and like comforting things that remind us of being in our parents, like the cheesy dishes and the chowders, and
Green bean casserole.
green bean
Mhm.
Felt
casserole.
that one for Thanksgiving.
I love
I
that.
love it.
Yeah, just all the things that we think we can't have. There are ways you can have them. You just have to understand it. It's sometimes this may be the biggest mindset shift and takeaway for some of your audience members listening, because for me, I mean, I never realized that you could still have those things, because I grew up on my mom's side going to Weight Watchers, sitting in Weight Watchers meetings as a child, learning about how you had to keep up with your points and you had to do your portions, and going to Nutrisystem. You have to eat nasty tasting foods that is this size,
Little package.
that would not feed a bird, and the birds would revolt if they had to eat that way too. Like, that's not going to ever go over with the birds. So why is it going to go over with us? It's not. But we think we have to diet. We think we have to do all these miserable things. The mindset is off, which is the first part of our framework, is
Yeah.
the mindset. So I feel like after listening to your podcast, and listen, if you've just discovered this podcast and just now started listening to it, go back and start with episode 1. It is awesome. And do not miss the clean eating episode. It is so good, because this girl is filled with wisdom. But where we align so much is in the framework that Jarrod and I have laid out. We call it Me Doctors. So it's MEDRS. It's 5 steps. So the general overall meaning for Me Doctors is me. For us, it's me and Elohim. So it's you and God together, like praying about, consulting with him, you doing some research, figuring out what does the reliable research say, getting around the people, the right community, the right coaches, the people who've already discovered these things. So you can just go. I mean, if we had somebody that could talk about this like you do or like we do, it would have made such a difference for me if I could have got out of that so much faster.
Yeah.
So Me Doctors is about us and God. And then the doctors, so me and Elohim are us and God. And then the doctors as our consultants. They come alongside us as the consultant. It's not just doctors, it's any healthcare
And I
provider.
even tell my
It could be
patients
PA.
that I'm a consultant. I'm giving you the best information I know how, but you
Right.
ultimately have to make the decision, have to do whatever the thing is that you need to do. I can't do it for you. I'm not a parent. I'm a consultant.
Right. And so ultimately the decision is yours. And so what we see happen time and again is somebody walks in a room, they have a white coat on, and you act like they're God, and they are not God. They have information and they have studied and earned their degree, and they understand some things, and God can use them to help you. But ultimately, you need to make the choice and not be forced into something. And it's not just even the forcing of treatment. It's also taking on a diagnosis that's proclaimed over you, because
And
we've
that is
seen
very
people
common.
become
I'm a diabetic.
I am a
with
diabetic.
diabetes.
Yeah, and it's like, so you
It's very
take that
different
on.
mind.
We've even seen it happen to where wrong, and this wasn't in our practices, but I mean, we've heard and seen this over time where people someone got a wrong diagnosis. I've heard it more than once, like not
You
the
get a
wrong
call on a
diagnosis,
Friday evening and the wrong patient was
labs.
reached, and they hear a diagnosis that wasn't for them.
So they got the wrong diagnosis or the wrong call on somebody else's labs. Okay. And so over the weekend, they're sitting there thinking they have this thing. And then Monday, it's discovered, oh no, this was the wrong person called about these labs. And meanwhile, they're showing symptoms of the thing that they were told they had.
It's like they're living into it.
It's just crazy. And that is a real story. I mean, I've seen it happen multiple times and known people that has happened to. And it's crazy what can happen to us when we start taking on these things. So really properly understanding and unplugging from that idea of the fact that there's this one person that knows it all. It's like,
We don't know it all.
No.
We know a lot, and I do
Right.
the best that I can, but could I be wrong sometimes? Absolutely.
Right.
Could the doctor that's sitting across from you be wrong? Absolutely. But I think the takeaway from this is that this should empower you
Yes.
as a patient to know that I'm in control of this,
Yes.
me and the Lord, and then we're getting the best information we can
Mhm.
from the physician assistant, the nurse practitioner, and then trying to make choices based upon that. But it's not, I'm pronouncing this over you. You have to do this. It's
And
like,
you're
no.
literally paying them to be
Okay.
your consultant. They're your consultant. So we just have to shift our mindset around that. Is that what that's what you've experienced too? It seems like just from the podcast I've listened to that's kind of your thought about it too.
Yeah, that's been my journey for sure, is just learning that I do have a voice, and
Right.
just because I'm just a mom, doesn't mean that I don't carry God's wisdom and that I know what needs to be done for my kids. And I've just seen it time and time again where we'll go in for the wisdom or for just some kind of answer,
Yes.
and then based on what I've been told, listening to God about that and making some other decisions, I usually turn out to be right?
Yes.
So it's like learning to trust that inner intuition that God's given us as moms and just as people in general.
Yes.
I think is so important, especially when it comes to our health, because this is the only body we get. So
That's
we need
it.
to
Absolutely.
be good stewards of it.
That's it. We call it your number one asset. Apart from your relationship with God, this is your number one asset. And he's given it to us. We live inside it. It is our shell that we live inside that allows us to do the things. It's not the real us.
It's our vehicle here
It's
on earth.
just the vehicle that
Yeah.
we live in to be able to walk out what we were put here to do, all the dreams and goals and plans, the desires of your heart that God's given you that you're not able to do because you just don't feel good. That was my
Right.
story for so many years, and so many of our clients deal with that. And it's time that we need to learn to be set free. Like we need to learn those things that will allow us to walk in the freedom that we were created to enjoy.
Yeah.
So,
And I love that you found that with this, plant-based eating, and really kind of going back to the beginning of how we're intended to eat. And I think your message is really powerful because there are so many messages out there. It can be really confusing for people who are trying
super
to do what's
confusing.
best. they think that they're
Yeah.
eating healthy, but in reality, they're actually damaging their body further or
Yes.
doing something inadvertently that is, keeping those symptoms going
Yeah.
on and on and on. So
Mhm.
what would you guys say are some strategies that moms can use to um, help their kids to understand this as well, or like to begin to eat in this type of eating pattern, I guess I would
Mhm.
say? How would you suggest they start to go about that and implement that in their family?
For me, the answer is, again, it goes back to the framework. So it's the Me Doctors framework. So we talked about in general what it means, taking charge of your own health. But now we go down each letter, MEDRS. So M is mindset. So it's getting at the right mindset around what you're eating, around how to fuel your body well. It's not just about the food, but Jared and I focus on the food because it is so foundational. Like, it's about your walk with God. It's about getting fresh air and exercise, and like the
Good
lifestyle
sleep.
things is sleep is so important. But food is so foundational, and we have seen it change so many things so quickly for people. That's what we focus on because it made the biggest difference for us, and we see it make the
But
big
like with our
difference
kids
for others.
though, let's see, I guess how old was Madeline? I guess she was
Mhm.
around 12 or 13 maybe when she started. But with the older ones, we shared what we learned
Yes.
and kind of explained this is a better way that's going to help
Mhm.
promote health. And then other strategies had them help start preparing food
From an early
from an
age,
early
as
age.
early as possible, because you make those memories in the kitchen. You're bonding with them in a heart way too.
But
So
we
you're getting
find,
out from behind the devices and you're making the memories that are going to last, but you're also giving them a legacy of being able to live long and live well.
that when they are involved with the preparation, they're now invested in it. They want to
They
try
like
it.
it. They like
Yeah.
it better. They definitely
Agree.
like it better.
Make it fun. Instead of broccoli, you're eating trees.
Mhm.
You know?
Yeah, and I think it's also that mindset of just going back to that first thing, the mindset, like you think you can't have brownies anymore, right? Well,
Yeah.
and so it's that whole thing. I and switching from I can't, this is a big mindset thing. I can't to how can I? I can't
I
to how
can't
can I?
stops the conversation.
Right.
There's no further progress.
Right. So
But
how
how
come
can I ask the question? Now you start
good?
looking, you start researching, you keep digging in.
Yeah.
But so it depends on the parent's attitude. So if it's a yeah, we're gonna have to stop having cake and brownies because
Yeah, you just
this is
can't.
healthy for us, and you
Yeah,
can't.
nice. It's like a lot of times, like, you can't have this anymore. I'm getting rid of it. I'm cleaning out the entire pantry. We're throwing it away. Like, if you
I
know,
know, Mom. No, that's my favorite cupcake.
instead of we're
Yeah,
going to
we've been
try
there.
this new brownie recipe, right? We're going to try this new brownie recipe together and just hope and pray it's not a nasty one, because there's some nasty brownie vegan recipes out there that are
There are
like it will.
there are
Yes,
some
there are.
amazing ones.
Yeah, there are. There are some good ones, but
So,
there's some nasty
I
ones.
think if you can share with them the health benefits, you can find those good
Yes.
substitutes. And really, we call it finding your new favorite.
Yes.
So you're taking what you
Huge.
love, but finding a better way to do it, get them involved and make it fun.
Mhm.
Then I think it's going to be a lot easier than people think. Because I hear that a lot with my patients. It's like, yeah, I'm kind of on board with this, but a spouse or children, like, my kids won't eat it. They like gold food, not gold food,
Goldfish.
goldfish and whatever else, goldfish and chips.
Yeah.
Like, well, there's a way. Don't give
Mhm.
up so easily.
There are so many good snack foods, so many ways you can do this. And the thing is, you have to wrap your mind. This is another mindset thing around how you have, on average, 9 meals that you rotate through a month. No joke. Stop and think about it for a minute. You make the same 9 things on repeat over and over again, or some form or fashion of those things. So all you have to do to switch to whole plant foods is replace those 9 things with your new favorites. That's it. And now you've got this solid foundation. And then all of a sudden you're going, this tastes so amazing. And it was so easy. And it was like the fastest way I've ever cooked before. And it was the cheapest thing I've ever bought. And now I'm feeling great. And now I don't have to waste my time sitting at the appointments and having the procedures and recovering from those and taking time off work. And now I'm saving money and I'm
Dr. Google
I'm
for
Yeah.
hours on end.
oh, we've been there. Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
searching Dr. Google. Yeah, absolutely. So
Oh.
just learning that if you can just start there, replacing those, and like Jared said, as you're replacing them, they are your new favorites. So you keep a running list. Seriously, this is gold I'm giving you right now. Keep a running. I wish somebody had told me this. That's why I
Yeah.
say it's gold, because it changed our lives. If you'll keep, you think you'll never forget them, but you will, and you'll fall back into old habits. So you start keeping your running list. As you find your new favorites, put them on there. As things stink and they're not good, don't eat them again. Like, or try a different way, or get around somebody that can show you how to switch up that recipe that was almost good to make it taste really great. My big thing is, like, I have the recipes that you can use to get started, but you need to know how to take most any recipe and upgrade it. And
Yeah.
once you can learn that, the sky's the limit. Like, what can you not
And
do
it just
when you
becomes
have those
second
things?
nature. It's just
Yeah.
what you do.
And you love
Yeah.
it. Like, we look at each other, it's hilarious. And we'll be sitting there eating something. Seriously, I have like chicken nuggets right here that we just made. They're not processed. They're not like, I'm going to show you, Heather. Can you see them?
Oh, those look great.
Let me tell you, they are so good. Like, if I serve these to somebody who does not eat chicken, they would never know it was not chicken. And I am not kidding
And
you.
they're oven baked, but they've
Wow.
got that crispiness to it.
But when you have the way to eat like that, like, we'll be sitting at our desk eating, looking at each other. We have a joining desk, and I'll look at him. I'm like, I feel so deprived right now. It's like, yeah, so deprived. And we just start laughing because we believe these things. We have these mindsets and things that, honestly, I believe the enemy uses certain avenues to come to you and teach you these things.
Yes.
And sometimes it's self-talk that you've said to yourself over and over all these years. I could never. That's too hard. I won't like it. I can't, I won't. And it's just, it's crazy. And then it's stuff that we've been told, like, where we get your protein. I mean, that's a huge mindset thing. Like, where am I going to get my protein? But I won't have any protein. Well, Jarrod asked the most genius question. This is another one of those mind-blowing things that I wish somebody had
Well,
told
this is the
us.
first thing I always
years ago.
hear. It's just like we homeschooled all of our children. 2 are still homeschooling. The very first thing they ask is, what about socialization?
Yeah.
So when I mention whole food plant-based, the very first thing,
Yep.
where am I going to get my protein? And then I
Yep.
tell them, where's your protein getting its protein? Cows aren't eating steak. They eat plants only. And the same essential amino acids we must get from our food, they must get from their food.
Mhm.
So if it is in the beef that you're eating, they got it from their food. So that means it originated in a plant.
Right. So where do they get it? Where do chickens get their protein?
Wow.
Where do cows get their protein?
Because we went on this same intellectual journey years ago.
Are gorillas weak?
And no, gorilla, all the largest land animals,
Oh.
gorillas,
So true.
elephants, giraffes, hippos, rhinos, they're all herbivores.
But we're
So clearly they're getting their protein. And it's not as big of a problem as people really, I think, have been led to believe
I'll tell
by
you what
advertising
is,
modern food industry.
it's not a problem. It really is not a problem, because what is the problem is we're actually getting too much protein.
Agreed.
And what they're finding is our kidneys are overworked. They're tired. Like, we're eating too
We
much
don't
because
store protein. We store fat, we store carbohydrates, but we don't store protein. So any that's in excess,
right.
our body has to eliminate. And that job falls on the kidneys, and especially when it's animal-based proteins,
Mhm.
which animal-based foods are pro-inflammatory. So then that adversely affects the kidneys. Now the kidneys are having to work harder to eliminate this excess, the amino acids and protein. It's just harder on them. And I've heard on a number of occasions that nephrologists, kidney doctors, that if somebody comes to them in chronic kidney disease, one of the first things they tell them is plant-based diet.
Mhm.
Wow.
So I'm thinking, why don't we start there?
Why don't we start there?
Why don't we start there?
Smart.
Yeah, he had a revelation years ago. He went to a conference and he came home and he was like, I cannot do this anymore. They were talking about blood pressure, and they were going, if their blood pressure is this, you need to give them this medication. If it's this, you need to add this medication. And if it's this, you need to add this medication. If this,
There was this tiered system. So if it's in this range, these 2 meds, if it's down here, this med. And I had the revelation, they're never getting to the root cause of what is causing that blood pressure. I mean, the guy was brilliant. I mean, very intelligent, everything he laid out, great plan,
Mhm.
but it ignored, where did this blood pressure come from? Why are we not looking at that instead of just the control of it?
Mhm. And you said to me something just that blew my mind. You said, why, instead of trying to put out all the fires, why don't we just stop setting the fires? Like, figure
Yes.
out, why are they being
I'm
right?
more of a visual thinker. So I had this thought of, I'm in a hayfield and I'm flicking lit matches.
Mhm.
And then if this fire is this big, then you use this type of fire extinguisher. If this one's this big, then you got a bigger fire extinguisher. Why don't we just stop generating the fires?
Right.
Why don't we
Yeah.
just stop that? Then we won't need a better fire extinguisher.
So we
So
think
good.
we're not getting the protein, right? We're not going to get the protein. There's not enough protein. Well, do you know where this whole idea of protein combining and not getting protein comes from.
Hmm.
Have you ever heard of where it comes from?
No.
Yeah, it's from a Woman's Day magazine in the 70s.
An article, yes.
An article that this woman put out and later recanted her theory.
5 years later. So she was saying plants were not a complete source of protein, so you had to combine them so that you got all the amino acid. Well, 5 years later, she realized the mistake of that, recanted it, but for some
Damage was
reason,
done.
the first story has lived on 50 years.
Yeah.
It's like vitamin D. That whole thing is like, oh man,
Yeah.
one little
Yeah.
thing and it will stay
Right.
in medicine for 50 years, but it takes
Yes.
50 years for them to recant
Yes.
the original problem.
And then you realize all plants have protein.
And plants are the
Both of
original
them.
source.
And
This
they're-
blew my mind too, because we do not make amino acids. Now, we can configure the non-essential ones from the essential ones, but we're not making them completely brand new, where we're grabbing carbon, nitrogen, oxygen, hydrogen, and sulfur and making a brand new amino acid. Only plants do that. So plants are the original source of it. If our protein is getting its protein from plants. And again, this was the intellectual journey we went on when we first looked at this and thought, okay, this has to meet my nutritional needs if this is a viable way to eat. And just each of these protests or these mindsets or myths that just won't go away. Are they true? Well, no, they're not true. I can get all that I need from plants.
And we know that there's not a protein deficit in the world. The only place that there are protein deficits are when people are not getting enough calories to meet their nutritional requirements. That's it. So we have all the
good. I wish people knew this, because this is, like you said, the biggest question that I get, and people are so worried about it. But it's like the whole iron issue. It's like, well, your body needs this much, but they don't tell you, or they don't know that your body's using 95% of that and recycling it. So you really only need like this much,
Right. And so that one thing starts. So now we're worried about this one-off nutrient and this nutrient, and this nutrient. There are tens of thousands of nutrients that they have discovered in plants that God's put in there to fuel our bodies optimally that they have not even named yet. Well, what about all the ones they haven't even discovered?
They know all these things are there, but they haven't characterized them. They don't really know what they do. So are there maybe other things in there that optimize health? I would submit yes.
Right. And so we're worried about protein. All the while, we're in a fiber famine. So plants are filled with fiber. And why is this so important? Well, when it comes to cholesterol and it comes to your blood and feeding your gut bacteria so you don't end up with gut issues, fiber is crucial. So, I mean, so many people spend their lives with their guts not working properly, like thinking it's normal to go to the bathroom once or twice a week. And that is not normal. Like, that will tear up your insides. I mean, literally make pockets in your colon. This is why there's a rise of all the problems going on. So when you start filling your body with this stuff, you're like, I had no idea. Like, I don't waste time anymore in the bathroom. I don't want to get too specific, but it's like, and you understand by looking at the result why it's not tearing you up and why you're not having problems anymore. I didn't even plan on think about talking about that, but it's just like, it's the natural thing to talk about with gut health when you're talking about eating all this fiber. You know what has zero fiber in it? Animal products. Zero fiber. Zero. And you're eating this little side of veggies and think, well, I eat my vegetables. You're not getting enough fiber. You need more fiber. Why is my cholesterol so high? It's just normal. It just happens when you get older. It's genetic.
It's genetic. It's either bad luck or bad genes.
No.
And that's what we're taught.
The main source
and then
of
I have to get a
cholesterol-
medicine.
Right. And then the medicine. Right. The main source of cholesterol that comes into your body is from what you eat. Yes, your body makes it. Yes, your body needs it. But the main source is what you're eating. It is in animal products. You know what doesn't have any cholesterol in it at all? Plants. Zero.
Yeah.
None. So so if you can get out the animal products and you can start getting it more and more and more. Don't think like I gotta go 100% right now. If you want to, by all means, you're going to get faster results. There's no doubt. We see it time and again. You can heal, you can reverse stuff. It happens. But one thing at a time, one new favorite at a time, and you're more plants, less of the stuff that's filled with the cholesterol, that has no fiber,
Hormones, saturated
filled
fats.
with hormones, the saturated fats. I mean, I
Milk.
just wish people would have told us this
Full of
stuff
hormones.
so long ago. We were talking this morning about how I used to stand in that when I got my worst, Heather, at 40, when I was my worst, we were clean eating. So we were eating free range beef. We were buying it straight from the farm. We were eating
Cage-free eggs,
cage-free eggs, free range, cage-free bird.
organic,
We were eating,
all of it.
yeah, no RBST added hormones to our cheese, our milk. And I was literally standing looking at the sandwich meat, choosing the organic sandwich meat that had no nitrates in it, because we knew that we didn't want to get a lot of those added to our foods, right? It wasn't healthy. Why did no one tell me that this is a group 1 carcinogen? Sandwich meat by nature is known to be
Any
a
of the
cancer
processed meat.
causer. Like sandwich meat, processed meats, any processed meat.
Bacon,
Yeah.
all of that, the processed meats.
Yeah. So
The
it's
World Health Organization is a group 1 carcinogen, and that means there is a known association.
they
And on their website, even
specifically
says cause
cause it.
colorectal
It
cancer.
causes colorectal cancer. Why is nobody talking about this?
Wow.
It
Yeah.
There's a
causes
warning
it.
on
It says it.
cigarette
I read it
packs.
on their thing this morning. I said, Jarrod, they literally wrote on the World Health Organization site, no, it causes cancer, the
Wow.
processed meats. Okay.
Yeah.
And did you know? Like nobody told us this stuff.
Yeah.
So it's like we love being able to share these things because we
Yeah.
see people get set free. Beef.
I have
beef
people ask
good.
me, I have patients say, are you taking away my cheeseburger? It's like, no, I'm not taking anything away from you. That's your choice. But I
Yeah.
want you to be armed with correct
Be aware.
information so that you can make the best
Good.
decisions for you.
Yeah.
Nobody told us beef was a 2. It's a 2
It's a group 2A,
A.
probable carcinogen.
probable carcinogen linked with cancer, so specifically
have-
digestive and stuff. And then chicken. So we think chicken's better, right? So now we went to eating more chicken, more white meat, and we would bake it and not fry it. Well, nobody told me I'm having all these urinary problems that touching chicken is linked to high UTIs. No one told me that.
A common
and-
common bacteria for UTIs is Proteus mirabilis, and chicken will carry that commonly.
And then he blew my mind this morning. We have several clients that
I
have
really thought I
reversed-
had told you this.
You had not.
but
We have several clients that have reversed rheumatoid. And so we're
Mhm.
sitting here having this discussion about research, which we do quite often. And he was telling me this.
With rheumatoid arthritis, they were looking at women are affected by it 4 to 1 compared to men. So whenever they were trying to look at potential causes, one of the things they look at, what else do women have more than men? And they noted urinary tract infections. I would have personally have attributed to physiologic differences. Men and women are built a little differently, but they were saying, which is part of it, but they were saying that Proteus mirabilis is a common cause for urinary tract infections. But, oh wait, hold on. I lost my train of thought. So the chicken,
We're talking about rheumatoid.
yes, the rheumatoid arthritis. So because both are more prevalent in women, they started looking at both of them. So in rheumatoid arthritis and with the Proteus mirabilis connection, they've noticed that there's a protein within the bacteria that looks very close to a protein found in our cartilage. They call it molecular mimicry. So when you get exposed to the bacteria and your immune system sees it, it's creating antibodies.
To
Sometimes
find
if
it.
you're creating antibodies against that specific protein and you've got a protein in your cartilage in your joints that looks like that, the immune system gets confused. So then it starts attacking your joints. And if you're eating a lot of chicken, getting exposed to it, and people say, but I cook it. Yeah, but if you touch it, you can't disinfect your hands enough to completely get rid of it. So you're still being exposed and then can to some degree get colonized. And now not everybody that eats chicken gets rheumatoid arthritis, obviously,
Mhm.
but they did find that there was that connection. And
And it's all
Wow.
these mindset things and things that we're taught or things that we're not taught that we don't know. And so we hold on to these ideas. Where am I going to get my protein? And all this, just these few things that we've shared, it's like enough to go, wait a minute. Where's my protein getting its protein?
Yeah.
Wait a minute. These proteins are more easily digestible by our body. Like there's so many different things about it. And then just one thing and another thing falls that are things that our enemies kept like in I call it through the avenues. It's the different avenues, like the diet gurus teach you. You have to count your calories and keep up with your portions and points and weigh yourself and all this crazy stuff that will make you go nutso. And then you end up, you might get the results. Maybe. Let's say you lose the weight. I saw my mom do it several times, sitting through all these things with her. So she lost the weight, but she couldn't keep it off because it was a miserable way to do it. It took her too much time. The portions were ridiculous. And it was never going to work because she wasn't getting rid of and replacing with the thing she actually enjoyed. that actually loved her body back. So now once you have the foods that you love that love your body back, you're golden. Like you're just, that's the sweet spot for sure. So,
But don't let this overwhelm you. I tell my
Right.
patients this all the time. This shouldn't overwhelm you. This should empower you, knowing
Yes.
that you have more control over your health than
Than
what
you
you were
ever
led to
thought.
believe. And you
Yeah.
had mentioned before, some people, they'll go all in, get results faster. I do see where a lot of people that just seems a bit daunting. Like, I don't know. They've done studies, and incremental changes do yield incremental improvements. So it's not an all or nothing. I mean, we do see that the more plants you eat, the lower the risk of all-cause mortality all the way to 100%. But I'd much rather my patients be 90% plant-based if for whatever reason they just can't quite do that final 10%, because compared to the standard American diet, they're going to be so much better off.
yes.
Yeah.
So much better
Yeah.
off.
So
Yeah.
many of those things we believe, that's the mindset thing. Environment is just like the people, places, and things around you. It affects everything. Get in a group, a community or 2 or 3 where you're supported and loved on with people who have already gone there, walked the journey, and they're where you want to be. Like we're 52 years old. I have more energy, feel better. My skin's cleared than I was when I hit 40. Plus, we lost 75 pounds and have kept it off. And you've got similar stories. You know, you change things, and then all of a sudden, your child is feeling better, and now their body heals, and they don't have to be on the restrictions they were on before.
Yeah.
Like that, it just makes sense. And so you got your environment right.
Yeah,
And
I've
then-
got to share a little story about the environment.
Oh, go
So-
ahead. Go ahead. I was giving.
Yeah, so back in the day, before we went this way, there were a few times that I got caught sneaking into the pantry and opened the door. Daddy, you're in there, and I've got a bag of organic barbecue Lay's potato chips. Yes. And I wouldn't just eat one.
Get a week.
Oh, no. I ate a lot. And my wife, she would say, just eat a few. And I had to tell her, like, I can't. If they're here, I will eat them. We
Mhm.
can't buy them anymore. It's like,
Environment.
but she still likes them.
Yeah.
Like, sweetheart, if they're here, I don't know what it. I know what it is now, but at the time, like, I don't know what it
It's
is. But I just love
addicting.
these things. I can't eat just one, so
Yeah.
we had to get them out of our environment. Otherwise, the little ones coming down. At that time, they were young, so it might have been 8:30. Lights are off in the kitchen, but the lights on in the pantry.
Uh-huh.
Daddy, what are you doing? Nothing. Close the door.
So real.
It is so real. Listen, it ain't any more real than us. I'm telling you, this is daily life. And our son learned it from him too. So there's been a couple of times he's been not the Lay's chips, but just busted in the pantry. Oh my goodness.
I love it.
But he's
So-
eating the good stuff.
He
Oh,
is,
speaking of
'cause
son,
we changed our environment.
you mentioned the nuggets.
Yeah.
Our 16-year-old made those.
Girl,
Wow.
Completely
I
by
can't
himself.
tell you how good
100%.
these are right now. Like when we get off this call, I'm totally
Chowing down.
into the
You're making
nuggets.
me hungry.
We have
But-
these are our Chick-no-Way nuggets. We have Chick-no-Way dip. We have brownie batter hummus, like all the stuff that
Wow.
you want. Frosties. Like I've got to have good drinks, matcha lattes, but it's got to taste good and not have a bunch of weirdo ingredients in it. Like you can't just survive. We eat tofu, and I show you how to make it taste good. If you think it tastes bad, it's just because you think it tastes bad. I mean, you haven't had it taste good, but it really can. It's amazing. My sister-in-law told me, I hate tofu, Anita. You'll never get me to eat tofu. I'm like, just try this. Just try this recipe. She said, she came on the next time we were on the phone, she said, girl, I love it. This is crazy. And her hot flashes went away.
Wow.
If you're having
And-
flashes,
Yeah.
find a way to love tofu.
Before
That's
before she went plant-based, she
Perfect,
never
even better.
cooked. Her husband did all the cooking.
Yeah.
But then becoming plant-based, she does all the cooking now.
Yeah.
Well, and her teenage daughters.
They do. They jumped
do it
in,
because this is-
adopted
it's
it as a
easy.
teen because they said it's so easy, Mom. It tastes good. I love this food. And they all do it now. The teens adopted it. They love it.
That's
Yeah.
key. I think that's one of the things I'm really passionate about is that if we're going to eat healthy, it has to taste good. And I think it's
Yes.
made like the intention is that it tastes good. God gave
Yes.
it to us. And so
Yes.
we have been brainwashed a bit, I think, like you're saying, to believe these lies and these mindsets we've been marketed to. We've watched our parents and their parents diet and ourselves diet and all that. So there is a mentality that, now I'm restricted. Now I have to eat disgusting food just to get,
Yes.
Yes.
get it back. But it's a lie.
So-
All of it's a lie.
You see them make money on the front end with the indulgent foods. Then they make money on the back end with
the
the
medications.
diets and all that stuff.
Yes.
And the
And
diet.
round and round it goes.
Yeah,
The
that's
quote
true.
unquote health foods.
hmm
Yeah.
And then the last part of the framework is just make it delicious. It's got to taste good.
Mhm.
I'm so picky about that. Like I show people how to make even the ingredients, like how do you switch up your ingredients in something? Like if I like meat in my chili, or if I like this and that, how do I switch that stuff up? So it's making it delicious. It's got to taste good. It's got to be rapid. That's the R in doctors. If it is not quick, as busy
Okay.
moms, forget about it. Like it is
You don't have
never
2 hours a meal to, each meal. And we've heard of people
I
doing
know.
that. 2 hours each meal, 6 hours a day preparing food.
It reminds me of Ashley, our client, though. She wrote me one time. She said, Anita, look at this. She's like, here's a picture of my Instant Pot. She said, I've had this forever. And before I talked to you and knew how to use it, I was like, I was never using it. This is crazy. She said, I just got back from going down to swim with my daughters. And we had this most memorable day just out swimming, making memories as a family. Dinner cooked itself.
She put everything in the Instant Pot, hit start, left, went, enjoyed the day with her kids, and then came back. Dinner was there.
And Jared's
Wow.
sister never cooked. She never cooked before. Like
No.
she would joke about burning box brownies. Like she never cooked. She
Forgot
said,
about that.
"Oh."
She did.
She said, I didn't cook before you guys, but she saw the difference it was making in us. She saw the real life change and came to visit sometimes and smelled the food and started
I did.
going, I want to try
Liked it.
this. And it was quick and it worked for her. And now our girls do it, right? As teens. And so that just making it quick and making it simple. And this one is huge. This is the big thing that we teach on and dive into in our program too, but we teach on it even on the podcast. It's
We talk about all these
important.
elements on the podcast
It's
too.
so important because you've got to learn how to make it simple. And what I mean by that is if I'm going to eat whole plant foods, how am I going to have a life? Like I want to go out to restaurants. I want to go to my friend's house. I want to have my friends over. Like I want to know what to do if my spouse is not whole food plant-based. Like how do I make this work with real life? And once you can get those answers, like that's the final piece to me.
Yeah.
That's like pulling it all together. And when that happens, like that's the system that when you can get into that and start walking out those steps and get your mindset right first and start finding those new favorites, get them on a list. Like I cannot stress that enough. It is going to save you so much time and make things taste so much better for you. Environment, delicious, rapid, simple. And that's, we see results every time. Every time
Wow.
somebody actually walks it out and does it, it's amazing. It's just amazing. And we love
It
it.
never gets old.
No.
We love
Yeah.
it. Everyone we see.
That's incredible. It's so powerful. And I love the framework that you have and how simple it is. And people can just run with it and go with it. Because I know, like, when I first started my journey to whole food, plant-based type living, it was so hard. And to
Yes.
some extent, it still is, as I'm trying to like find people like you to help me because, you're trying to get your kids along for the ride and you're trying to get your
Yeah.
husband along for the ride. And you kind of feel like you know what's best, but it's easy to just fall back into at least
Yes.
the feeding. Like, here's the chicken nuggets again, because
Right.
I don't know what else. And we don't want to hear the fighting
Yeah.
and the crying. And I don't like this, Mom.
Yes.
So
And
I
that's-
love
that's
so
real.
much what you're doing.
It's a real
Yeah.
challenge. Definitely.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you can get them involved, get them in the kitchen with you, let them help pick the meals, plan the meals, shop for the meals. If you have a little one, stick stickers on the produce of their favorite character. Let's
Fun.
get
There's
the
Paw
dark
Patrol
bananas.
broccoli.
Let's get Paw Patrol broccoli. Yeah. I mean, why not? Like make
I
them
need
love
that.
it.
What else? Lip
Tell 'em-
Einstein cantaloupe.
Yeah.
Tell them it's little trees instead of you need to eat your broccoli. Let's make the little trees. Let's dip the trees in dip. Let's make 2 different kinds of dip for the trees to give them their nutrients.
Oh,
We
yeah.
had a friend who, Noah Bell.
Yeah.
With the
Oh,
cantaloupe.
yes. Yes.
So
This is
the
awesome.
mom at
Keep
one
living.
point because we had gone camping together and she had cut up some cantaloupe and the mom, and I think some honeydew as well.
Mhm.
And the mom was saying, "Oh no, Bell, you don't like
You
that."
don't like
Oh wait, no, you gave her some. She
I
was
gave her
eating
some.
it and she liked it. She said, "Oh no, Bell, you don't like that." And so some of it is the way that we as the parents
Yeah.
frame what we're doing
And she
to
didn't.
the children.
She wasn't trying to keep her from eating
No,
it.
no.
She just in her mind, her immediate go-to was she doesn't like that. You don't like that. And but she was
Wow.
eating it and she really did like it. And so, yeah, like Jared's saying, sometimes it's the way you frame it. And the way what they see you doing, they learn so much by what they see you doing, but teach them the things you've learned. Like if you learn one thing, 2 things from this podcast, don't just implement them, teach them to your children, not bossy, not
Just
pushy.
live
Like
it out.
it
in front of
doesn't
them.
work. Just live it out and start loving it and find the favorites. You're going to run into things you don't like. That's okay. It
That's
just
okay.
because you don't like this green bean casserole doesn't mean you don't like green beans. Like I hated green beans when I was little. I would sit at the table and my dad made me sit there till I ate them. Why? Because he knew what I should be eating, right? He wasn't doing that about the big slab of steak. He wasn't doing that about Pop-Tarts. He was doing that about my green beans. So I did not like them. Now they're one of my favorite foods. Your taste buds change. They change eating this way, and you're no longer stuck. One of our clients coined it food freedom. She's like, Anita, since y'all have worked with me, she had neck pain. It went from like 9 to
Oh, very
0
quickly.
very
Just a
fast.
few days.
But she's like, but the major thing for me, her husband had MS too, and he was getting incredible improvement. She was writing every day. He took this many steps. He wasn't even moving anymore. And he had started walking and getting all these incredible results. She said, but the thing for me is the food freedom. Like I'm not tied to this stuff. And we, like me with dairy, how I was literally addicted. We think about drugs with addiction. We don't think about food as much unless we're being taught, oh, you're addicted, so you eat too much. Well, yeah, and you're made shamed and made to think it's your fault. Not your fault. A lot of times it's what's in the food. So this is one last thing I want to share, Heather, and it is just so huge. It just blew my mind learning this about this protein. But there's a protein in dairy, and this is the reason why I was addicted to it. God put it in there, and it serves a beautiful purpose, and it's to bring the calf back to the cow. It literally hits on the receptors that make you crave and want to come back. It's like feel-good receptors that make you crave and want to come back to that food because it was created to turn a calf into a cow, bringing it back to its mom. So we wonder, why am I overweight when I eat these foods? Why do I crave them all the time? Why do I feel like I need cheese and dairy and cream? I still love those types of things, but I know how to make them now. Not even buying the vegan ones. There's a lot of junk foods within the vegan thing. You need to learn how to do it in the way that's so simple that it's a no-brainer and it can be done in like a lot of our things are 5 minutes. Most all of them are under 30, unless you're doing something like even lasagna. I mean, I think I can pretty much get our lasagna done in under 30. Like the things that already take you a long time.
Interestingly enough, about the protein.
But that protein,
they put it in food. So it's casein. I mean, everybody hears about casein. Well, in our bodies, it gets converted to casomorphin. So it has a morphine-like effect on the brain.
Wow.
So the calf feels good when it drinks the milk. And so it keeps coming back until it's weaned. Well, they now use that in food. So I remember one time going to work, I saw a non-dairy creamer, but it said warning or whatever it was, contains milk. Wait a minute, this is a non-dairy creamer, contains milk. So I look at the ingredient list, long, a lot of different chemical names in there, and had casein. And
Why?
I knew that's what it was. Casein's a protein. So if this is a creamer that's supposed to make your coffee have kind of that creamy taste to it, I just don't know that casein's really going to do that.
So why are they putting it in there?
Why is it in there? Because it converts to casomorphine and you buy more of their product. It gives you that feeling when you drink your coffee. So they put casein in different food items.
That's why we feel that way when we bite into pizza and get that first cheesy bite, and it's like,
it feels this feels. I mean, tastes so good.
yeah.
There's some truth to that, but when you don't know, you don't know, and then once your eyes are open to that and you see the bigger picture, it's very enlightening.
Yeah.
Also empowering.
Yeah, I love what you're saying because it's so powerful. It's so simple, so powerful, and just knowing these things, these little bitty things, can really bring freedom to someone who's really been struggling with something like this for a long time.
Yeah, and I just want to leave everybody with just don't be discouraged. If you are facing a health thing and you have tried and you keep hitting your head against the wall and nothing seems to be working, there is hope. You can feel better. And just because it's labeled chronic, we know that whole plant foods help with the top chronic conditions of our time. And we've named a bunch of them today. It's a big list. And so you say, why does it help with all these things? There's no way. Like that sounds like snake oil. How is that going to work with so many things? But you have to start thinking, what do these foods do? And again, there's so many things in there we don't even know what the amazing things that they do that God put in there. But when we start learning, they thin your blood. Your blood's no longer as thick as it used to be. So what does blood flow affect in your body? What area of your body does blood flow affect?
One example.
Every area.
one example, somebody that's plant-based, they have the same level of aspirin in their blood as someone that's standard American diet that takes an aspirin daily because it's just
Wow.
naturally in the food.
Right.
So
Wow.
so that highlights one of the avenues where it helps to keep the blood thinner, helps it to not be prone to coagulate or to clot more easily.
Right.
Wow.
But yes, every area of your body is affected by blood flow.
Right.
Everywhere.
And
So
then go ahead.
like with dementia, we just think it's just neurologic. Yeah, when they do autopsies on people that have dementia, they look at their arteries,
Mhm.
they're
Yeah.
closed down.
Mhm.
They're filled with plaques.
So when
The brain's not getting the blood flow it needs.
and what does the blood do? It delivers nutrients and it carries away the garbage. So the garbage is going to accumulate and you have no nutrients that you need, or very few, if your blood's thick and it can't get there. And then your arteries are also clogging at the same time your blood is thick. But they found that very quickly the viscosity of your blood can change. It's less than a day. It may be hours or minutes. I'm going to get that fact and know it the next time we talk. But it is so fast. It's almost mind blowing. And then the gut. So it affects your gut. We've already talked. Fiber is the food your good gut bacteria eat. Without it, you have a flourishing bad gut bacteria colony that can cause you to have leaky gut. Well, what does that affect? A lot.
Affects everything.
A lot, right? And so you've got your gut, your whole body because of the blood, and the list goes on and on.
It's just all interconnected.
Yeah, so that's why, because some people wonder, well, nah, it's not going to work for everything. It works for a lot, and these are two of the reasons why.
Gosh, that's incredible. I am just mind blown because I think I love everything that you're saying. It's right along and resonating completely with what I'm telling my clients and really the message that I want to get out to so many people. And I feel like this whole episode has been one giant myth busting episode. But do you guys have any last myth busting topics or things that you want to share before we go?
Oh my word, girl, we've hit so many.
Yeah,
I'm
we've hit
afraid
so many.
I think we water hosed everything.
Yeah. I know protein's the biggest one.
Protein is huge.
People talk about calcium, like just one-offing the nutrient.
Calcium,
Where did
eat your
calcium
greens.
that goes into the milk. They're not drinking milk. They're eating plants.
I think we're hitting on it.
Yeah.
It's
I mean, it
just
seems like
that
everything goes back to the same.
the one-off nutrient worries. Drop the fear. Stop.
Okay.
Don't let your food be your medicine.
In
People
God's
say that all the
word.
time,
He says, don't fear so many times.
but it's because when you fear, as a believer, when you fear, what are you saying to him? This is why he says everything he speaks out of his name. It's character. Everything he speaks out of his character. So when he says to you, do not fear, if you fear, you're not trusting him. But faith is trusting God and what he says. So you believe it's true, so much so that you're going to stake your life on it. You're going to live according to what he said. And he has told us multiple times, do not fear. Because when we fear, we're saying to him, you are not worth my trust. You're not worth my trust. So we're afraid in some area. And a lot of this is propagated in the system that we're in. It's like, you need to worry about this nutrient, and that's nutrient, and this nutrient. Why not just get the foods that are filled with the nutrients? And instead of taking all these things that you're spending your money on, all these supplements, which are bad if you get them in excess.
Yeah.
Okay. Instead of doing that, why not have your labs tested, which you can,
Yes.
many of those do it from your house. You don't even have to go in. Although would say it's a good idea to see a doctor sometimes, right?
Yes.
But and because they can explain the labs to you and things, but get them tested and understand what you need. And then don't first reach for a pill unless your levels are so chronically low. And I'm talking, when I say pill, I'm talking about supplements. We don't think of those as medicines,
Yeah.
but you're literally taking something that's been pulled out of all the things God's put it in to work optimally in your body, and you're taking that one thing that's been sucked out.
Yeah.
Okay. And the plant-based doctors, not too long ago, I saw a panel of them. I think it was an older one that was like from a couple of years ago. And they were saying, like, don't take multivitamins, don't supplement like that. Like, just don't, because you can get too much of things that you're already good on. And so we have these fears around these nutrients. It's like, why not just enjoy the food and enjoy our life? Set up the life you don't need an escape from. Jarrod and I were talking about this morning. Like, we love the Florida Panhandle. We live in the Panhandle.
Because
You
we
know?
love the beach. And 8 years ago, we said, why not create the life we don't need a vacation from?
Because we used to live for the
Right.
1 week
Yeah.
out of the year that we could come down here. It's like, why not just live there the whole time? So we moved here. It's the same with
Wow.
your diet. It's the same with what you eat. Why not create the lifestyle that I don't need a cheat day from and escape from? Some diets, Jarrod was even saying,
Some diets build a cheat day into it.
Yes, I've done them.
It's
And what
crazy.
does that say about those 6 days when you're strict on that diet
It tells you
that you're
you're
living for
miserable.
that cheat day?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're miserable those days, and then you have to have, and that's just, it's not going to work long term, and it's going to make you crazy. Like, it
That's
makes you literally
Keeping
hangry.
up with numbers and points,
Yeah,
all
it
that
doesn't,
stuff.
it just doesn't work.
Yeah.
Is
You
there's
just want to
such
give
an
up.
easier way.
Yeah. And that's
Mm.
where we're at. A lot of people just want to give up. And so this is going to
Yes.
give a lot of people some
I
real
might as
hope to
well
hold on to.
I might as
Yes.
well just enjoy it before I die.
Yeah.
That's not a way to live.
No,
It really
No, it's
isn't.
not.
no, it's not. No, it's not.
You
Absolutely.
guys, this is just amazing. I'm so, so thankful. I love your message. Do not fear, and just embrace all the good that God's given us and the fruits
Yes.
He's given us
Absolutely.
and all of that. So it has been such a pleasure to
Yes, it
meet with you
has.
guys.
Found it.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you for inviting us. I have a feeling that we are going to have a lifelong friendship, sister. We have
I
a
hope
lot in
so.
common, and this message needs to go out to so many people. And like I said before, if you're just now finding her podcast, go back and listen to all of them for sure. And do it, because it will be such a good thing for you to do. It's going to change your life. And yeah, it's just amazing. It's amazing what just these nuggets and learning these things, and just start implementing one by one. Don't get overwhelmed. And we also, Heather, have a free guide we want to offer to your listeners, and it's at Power on Plants with an S. So it's poweronplants.com/guide. So that's a
Okay.
free guide to get started in whole food plant-based. And even if you've been doing it for a while, I've thrown some recipes at the back of it that you can try out. And then our website, poweronplants.com, you can find out about the podcast and the cookbooks and all the stuff. So it's all there in that one place.
Thank you so much. I'm definitely hoping that my listeners will go and check out your website and your podcast and all of your amazing resources. Mamas, I hope that you do that. I hope that you feel encouraged and inspired to start transitioning to a more fully plant-based diet after listening today. Go check out Jarrod and Anita's resources and all their great information. And if you learned something new today, I'd love for you to jump over to our private Facebook group and share what you learned and ask any questions you have. I'd really love to connect with you. The link for that is in the show notes as well. But thank you so much for listening, and I'll see you on our next episode.